this is something that my dad always would enjoy showing people when they come, because he would get a kick out of asking them, well, do you know what that is? And of course, most of them would look at it and say, well, it looks like some kind of a horseshoe. And actually what this is a set or a pair of ox shoes. Early on, they actually used ox or oxen to work with. That is, pull wagons, plow, pull log, whatever. And so, you know, a cow or whatever has a split. I don't know if that's what you call a cloven hoof or not. But anyway, it has that split in it where a horse don't. And so you had to have a two-part shoe.
So that's a big foot.
Oh yeah. So that's a pair or a set of ox shoes. And let me tell you one right here now. There was an old man, we forgot to mention this, we was talking about coal camps, and failed to mention Hydertown. That was a little teeny camp that was right in the edge of Trammell. And the old man Hyder, I think, that had it was probably the one where Hayside got its name from, that later went up there. C.M. Charles Minton Hyder. But anyway, that's a little bit of background stuff. Well, he had a little small store. And of course, he had a few houses, had a little small mine back in the day, but he ran the store on up into later years. So some old boys went in there one time goofing around in the store, and they thought, well, they're going to be kind of smart with the old man or whatever. And he said, what can I do for you boys? What y'all need? He said, well, we need a set of ox shoes. And they didn't think for the world, you know, that anybody that day and time had ox shoes. And so the old man dove into a bunch of stuff in behind some of the counters and so on, barrels and boxes. And out he come, plopped them down there on the counter, said, that'll be $1.25. And so rather than to drink backwater, and you know, they ended up buying them a set of ox shoes that they didn't think they was going to get.
Wow.
And they claimed they always used to say the old fellow was as tight as anybody ever was in Dickinson County. And the story was told that he dropped a penny in the store and it went through a crack down underneath. And so said he went out and crawled underneath and struck up a 2-cent box of matches and hunting for that penny.
So he spent a penny to get a penny.
Yeah, he spent 2 cents trying to find
2 cents
one.
to try to find it, yeah. So I see some more little horseshoes and some kind of collar here made out of wood and iron.
Yeah, that's a pony collar. That not that's not the collar. That's the hames they were called. That went around the pony's neck for a mine pony. And talking about the mine ponies, look at there what a little foot they had.
Oh my God.
Now there's brand new unused pony shoes that were bought for the. But now speaking of the collar, I do have a. Now right here is the pony collar that. It would go around their neck, and then the hames went over top of it. That way, it kept those woods from cutting into them and rubbing them raw.
Okay.
And
So what were the ponies used for?
Well, the ponies were used to pull coal out of the mines. They used ponies up into the 50s, and these little small, they call them wagon mines. Just maybe half a dozen people worked them or whatever. And
So ponies.
yeah,
I didn't know that. And what about mules? They used mules too?
Yeah, in bigger coal where they, where they could use them, they did. And let me tell you this one about the ponies. The Lamberts mined coal for years and years here. And one of them, a lot of funny stories were told on him. His name was Ransom Lambert. And they were needing ponies pretty bad to work in the mines. And of course, they were pretty scarce, big demand for them. Well, there was a kind of flea market. Actually, they called it the stock market, which is a place called Ramsey over near Norton every Wednesday. And they would, again, trade on stock. People bring stuff in. So Rance was over there one Wednesday looking for a mine pony. Well, he saw the prettiest little pony there ever was. He asked a man, said, "Buddy," said that pony working? Yeah, boy, he's the best little old mine pony that you ever saw. So Ransom buys him, takes him to the mine. They hook him to a car. They do everything they could think of to get that pony to go in that mine. He wouldn't do it. Well, so Ransom takes him back over there and sells him, and goes on for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. They still need ponies at the mines. Never had found none. So Ransom goes back to Ramsey. Here stands the prettiest little mine pony you ever saw. Ransom, That pony work, yeah, boy, he's a good one. Best little old mine pony. He buys him, takes him back over there. They hook him to the car, you know. Little pony, he won't budge. He wasn't about to go. He wasn't about to go in that mine. And then Ransom, he kind of backs off and looks at that pony and walks around him a time or two, and finally gets right up in that little pony's face and says, "I'm seem like I'm seen you somewhere before." He bought the same one back.
So he bought the one from before.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh.
And
And these are nails,
Now, that's the-
railroad spikes.
Oh, that's the spikes now that they used in these little small pony mines that we're talking about. Again, very small rail for those cars to run on, and just little small spikes to hold the rails to the ties.
So track, fish, plate, and spikes. And is this a carrier for those? Or?
No, that's a respirator that one of these things up here that just happened to be sitting there. It needs to be moved. It don't fit in with that stuff.
Oh no.
Let me tell you too, to keep it off though. Let me
Oh, take it off.
yeah.